11 INFJ life tips to help you be the best version of yourself. Number 1. Create clear boundaries. INFJs tend to give themselves wholly and fully into anything or anyone, whether it's at work or to a friend they see in need. While this aspect makes them some of the most caring, dedicated people you'll ever meet, it also comes with a big downside. INFJs have an instinctual need to say yes to everything that lands on their plate, but this is just a recipe for disaster. INFJs are still human beings, and as such, they have limitations on how much of themselves they can dedicate to others. Sooner or later, an INFJ that can't set boundaries and learn to say no will find themselves ground down by life. Instead of being the hardworking people they can be, they will implode and have nothing to give to anyone. INFJs should create clear boundaries that they never cross. What are the issues that matter most to you? Where are you going to dedicate your energy? Make these boundaries clear to other people, but most importantly, to yourself. Number 2. Don't try to fit into the societal expectation. The world is built around extroverts. As a society, we tend to place more importance on those who can rally a crowd and talk to endless amounts of people. Even introverts will find themselves drawn to extroverts and their effortless charms. Unfortunately, this also makes life more difficult for introverts. To succeed, we are all now expected to emulate the same behaviors that come easy to extroverts. For example, we need to go out to a crowded party to make friends, engage in long conversations to network, or make speeches in front of a large audience. Many introverts force themselves to fit into these expectations, but this is like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. It might fit with some force, but it will never feel right. Instead, take a look at your life and decide what will be the best fit for yourself and your personality. Whether that means choosing remote work options or having the weekends dedicated to yourself, don't try to force yourself to become an extrovert. Number 3. Keep a close eye on your energy level and act accordingly. All introverts are drained of energy during social interactions. But especially for INFJs, who are highly empathic and sensitive, they are quickly drained by crowds, parties, or even an average day in the office. What makes things worse is that unlike some other types of introverts, INFJs are known as the extroverted introverts. This means that they love being around people, even when it is extremely draining on them. This is why INFJs need to keep a close eye on their energy level. Even when they desire to be around other people, they need to know their limits and say no when they have no energy to interact with anyone. If an INFJ ignores their social energy, it will impact the other aspects of their lives negatively. They won't be able to function at 100%. Your energy is a limited resource, and like other limited resources, you need to be careful about how you use it. Number 4. Regularly check in on yourself. INFJs are usually empaths, and can easily tell how another person is feeling or doing. Unfortunately, they don't always realize that they aren't as in tune with their own emotions and well-being. One of the cognitive functions of an INFJ is extroverted feelings, which means they are more capable of detecting emotions from external sources than internal sources. An INFJ might recognize that they are experiencing a strong emotion, but they usually cannot immediately figure out where this emotion is coming from. Because of this, it's important for INFJs to create a block of time to tease out the root of this strong emotion, especially if it's an emotion that's new to them. Number 5. Keep a journal. Because INFJs have difficulties recognizing internal emotions, it is often easier for them to externalize these emotions to sort them out. One of the best ways to do this is to keep a journal. By writing the thoughts running through their head, they can use one of their strengths to analyze these feelings. With their extroverted feelings, INFJs are much more capable of detecting emotions from outside sources, but not internal emotions. By writing down their feelings, the INFJ can then look at their own emotions as if they are reading about someone else's feelings. Number 6. Talk to someone else about your emotions. While the thought of sharing your emotions with another person might sound like a nightmare to introverts, for INFJs, it can be a very helpful tool to use. Like keeping a journal, talking to another person about your emotions is a way of externalizing these feelings. The other person doesn't have to give you any advice or feedback. Often, they act more like a soundboard that helps an INFJ figure these things out. It's more about the act of voicing the inner thoughts out loud that helps an INFJ sort out their emotions. Once it's outside your head, you will have a better understanding of your inner turmoil. Number 7. Trust your intuition. INFJs have very strong intuitions that are very often right. But INFJs also have a strong logical side to them. This makes it difficult for INFJs to follow their instincts when the logic says they shouldn't. The reality is that there is a reason why an INFJ's intuition is often correct. Without them being aware of it, an INFJ's intuition actually comes from their logical side, their brains rapidly going through every possible scenario to come to the right solution. Because their brain is going too fast, the INFJ doesn't realize that their intuition is based on logic and experience. When you have a strong gut feeling about something, learn to trust it, even if it doesn't feel logical at first. Even though it's not going to be correct 100% of the time, it is still very likely that you are. Number 8. Learn to be in your comfort zone. There is a saying that we need to get outside of our comfort zone to grow into better people. This is true to a certain extent, but it is not a hard truth. For example, we know that it can be beneficial to act like an extrovert. Growing our network or spending time with strangers can lead to good things down the road. But sometimes, forcing yourself to do these things can end up hurting you rather than benefiting you. An INFJ should learn their comfort zone and be okay to stay within it. There is no shame in relaxing in this zone. For INFJs, getting out of their comfort zone is only beneficial when they have a distinct goal they want to achieve. For example, meeting new people to learn a new hobby they are interested in. But if there is nothing motivating you, leaving your comfort zone might end up harming you more than benefiting you. Number 9. Create a sanctuary. There are many benefits to creating a safe zone where you can retreat when you are feeling down. As introverts, INFJs need time to be by themselves, to recoup the energy they spend interacting with the outside world. By creating a space designated as a sanctuary, you can immediately relax when physically entering the zone. Your mind associates this space as a place to wind down and relax. Design the space to be as comfortable as it can be for you. What is it that helps you relax? Is it reading your favorite book? Is it lying on a comfy sofa and listening to relaxing music? Whatever it is, make sure it's optimized to help you shut out the outside world. Number 10. Focus on your strengths. Nobody is perfect. Everyone has their flaws, but everyone also has their strengths. Instead of using your time and energy to fix your flaws, it's much better to focus them on your strengths instead. INFJs are known for their creativity, insights, determination, and passion. Focus on these strengths and make use of them to the best of your abilities. Though it might be difficult for you, delegate some of the more difficult tasks to other people who are more suited to the tasks. With this, you will feel more fulfilled and satisfied with the tasks you've set for yourself. Number 11. Nurture the right relationship. As extroverted introverts, an INFJ might be tempted to befriend everyone they meet. As altruistic types, they are willing to spend their time to help out whoever they see need help. But while an INFJ might feel like an extrovert, they are still introverts. This means that they only have space to interact with a limited group of people before their energy runs out. INFJs need to ignore this temptation and instead focus on building relationships that are right for them. While not a hard rule, INFJs tend to have better relationships with other introverts, so it might help to build stronger relationships with other introverts than extroverts.